I kind of felt like I knew what the big delusion, what the big lie would be. So I'm just gonna push some stuff out of the way here. And I feel if I was to give it a percentage, I would give it a 90% of what I believe is the big lie. First, I want to give a shout out to someone. What is his channel name again? The Lawless One Revealed. It's just called Lawless One Revealed. I got a lot of information off of this one. And if you've been following any of my videos, you know that, I don't know, maybe I spend 1 or 2 hours a day combing through videos, looking for new information about the man of sin, who is Donald J. Trump. And before I start saying anything, I would hope that you could bring your heart to a humble place, to what they say in the Bible as to be like a Berean. I believe one of the biggest problems with this topic is that people are not willing to bring themselves low into that humble place to see if the things that I or anyone else who already understands this lie to be true. And in my own self, my back is out, by the way, I'm doing this. I got TENS machine on my back, so pardon me. It should get better by later today, but that's what I'm dealing with, so just know that. When my friend told me, I have new information today that will probably blow you away, and it is scriptural. I can't believe that. Just seeing this, you'll find this very interesting. You may know this, but I have a lot to say on this. You might say, or you hear people say, why would you be searching for the Antichrist? Because you're probably on the pre-tribulation side when it's really pre-wrath. If you look at Seal 6 of Revelation, Seal 6 is when you and I are saved. And it's possible we're saved at the last trumpet. I don't know what God does at Seal 6. But at Seal 6, it's quite evident that his wrath has come. We are not destined to wrath, so something happens then. So people who are in the pre-tribulation, they've been told over and over and brainwashed, we're not looking for the Antichrist. You may say, Dave, why are you even looking for the Antichrist? And I'm going to be fully honest here. I think it is completely necessary for this time right now because it's the big delusion. And it's a bigger delusion than you could ever imagine unless you start looking into seeing of what the things I'm saying are true. We shall know the times and the seasons. And do I get joy out of this? I don't get joy out of it, but I'll tell you this. I find it quite interesting because I just keep finding more and more. And when you study the attributes of the man of sin, holy, like there has never been a person like this that they, with their mouth, they have gone all the way to the top, prospering by deceit and doing it by flattery. You know, looking at the definition of flattery in a dictionary, and I won't go to it, but the Lawless One, he went into that. And if you're one who watches my channel, I believe you've been making videos in the last year. I don't know how old your videos are. You had about 12 of them. I recommend, I'll try to put it in the description box because sometimes I forget, but I usually remember later. I combed through every bit of your videos. I think there are about 12 of them. Pardon me here a sec. There's a scripture that's going to blow you away that you probably haven't heard. Come out of Come out of her, my people, lest you partake in her sins. There's there's a channel telling people literally that we have to do an exodus. You probably know what channel I'm talking about, and that is not what you have to do. I believe the beast is America. Donald Trump is at the helm. He is a beast. It's just beast. That's what it is. Elon Musk, the false prophet, the other beast. The first beast, Donald Trump, the Antichrist, and the beast nation. And then the whore of Babylon that sits on many waters is not the states, because it says where our Lord was crucified. That's Jerusalem. Where do I go with this? Come out of them, my people, lest you partake in her sins. Not everyone can move away from where the Antichrist is, and where a lot of, you know what, this is what I believe full-heartedly, that there's going to be a lot of bad stuff starting to happen, especially in America. It's going to overtake the whole world, of course. We can see this happening in front of our eyes, the types of things that they're going to do. It looks like they're coming down on religion. You may not see it yet. I see it in my country. But you'll see. I believe in 2026. I'm not making a prophecy. This is just what I believe from what I see right now. Like Canada, like, you wonder what it says about that he will speak pompous words. We know this. We know his character. And the only way to understand if you're a real Christian and you love Jesus Christ is to look at Jesus Christ, to look at Donald Trump, and you see the opposite. It may take you a week, it may take you a month. But if you just look at his character and you know the way you and I should be, then you'll understand. You go back through his history. He has a horrible history in terms of, listen, I'm not good either, listen. But what I'm talking about is prospering by deceit and all the lies. There's just, it's beyond thousands. It's beyond thousands. It's like, it's more than the tens of thousands. This is a man who lies through his teeth every single day to the nation, to everyone he deals with. You have no idea how far this goes. So, come out of her, my people, lest you partake in her sins. So listen to my words. This man is evil. We are in that time. We shall know the times and the seasons. When you start to see floods, endless sun beating down on the earth. Like, look at Tehran. 10 million people are going to have to leave that city because they ran out of water. You see record storms. You see hurricanes coming up to like category 5 in a day. And that's happened 3 times in like the last 2 years. Things we just never heard of before. Earthquakes are happening once a week, like mega ones. Like there were just 2 more, right? In Japan. These are signs of the very end. And people think that this is going to go on forever, but once it starts, I don't believe that's the way it is, because I see all the other things. I see Apophis. I believe it's wormwood, absolutely. And if you count backwards, 3.5 years from the date that they give for the hitting, you want to call it coming 19,000 miles within the earth, it's the perfect size. It matches what wormwood would do. That'd be the midpoint of the whole tribulation, right? That's just the midpoint. Tom Horn said to count back 3.5 years, and it landed on the day that Trump was in Egypt signing a deal of the covenant. I couldn't believe, man. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Of course not. Nothing is too hard for the Lord. And he showed it, and I made a video about it. And I said, look what day it landed on. Now, you can believe what you want. You see, it looks like there's going to be 10 kings. Looks like. We'll see. It's matching it just like we want it to. Everything. Everything in Revelation is coming together. Things that, man, we never thought we'd see in our time, but they are. And I'm just giving an outline here first, an introduction, that people have changed. Listen to this. I was in my car yesterday. This is the way people are. And I wanted to go and follow this person. It was snowing where I am. It's been really snowy around here in the last number of days. And I was in my car, and I went to take a right out of my building at the lights. And, I pulled in front of this guy. He was, it was a safe distance. And it was, the snows were all sleet and like icy and stuff. And he didn't like the speed I was going. I was maybe going 45, and it was like 50. But it was like, anyways, I have rear-wheel drive, so he came on the, behind me, and he was so pretty close to me. And man, I can get road rage in my head. We all can. And he was blinking his lights repeatedly, on and off, as if I didn't understand he was behind me, right? And so I slowed down my car, and that made him mad. On a really icy, snowy road, he passed me doing like 70 around me. And I talked to my friend about this. He said he feels the same. People are not the same today. They're just not the same. So, the man of sin, the man of lawlessness, the worthless shepherd is Donald Trump. And I may share a little bit more about the things that I've shared in the past, but I have new stuff to tell you. So give me a sec. I was going to begin this. The grand delusion. The delusion that those who did not like the love of the truth, that they should believe a lie, that they should all be damned. Are you going to put your faith in Jesus Christ? God the Father, the Holy One of Israel, the one that keeps us safe, keeps us knowing that there's a glory to come that's going to be so amazing? Are you going to choose him, or are you going to put your faith in a man? Because here's one of the problems about this. Donald Trump and America are not, the center of the earth. There's billions of other people, so why focus in on this? I can't change it. That's the way it is. This is the superpower of the earth, the most powerful land that has ever been and will ever be, because this is the end. We'll see the kingdom that they try to make in their golden age. This is the grand delusion. And yes, this is what I wanted to say. Thank you, Spirit. This is what you don't understand about Donald Trump. I'm studying his character. I'm studying what he does. I don't like liars, okay? Chronic liars who prosper by their deceit. In watching so many videos, I'm going to play you a video. Let's say there's an overwhelming amount of evidence against him, and everyone knows it's true. I'm not kidding you. This is what is happening, and this is the delusion. Let's just say you saw me punch somebody on video, okay? That'd be a little extreme, but let's say it was him. He punched someone. And, the news was against him. Everyone was against him. What he does, and I hate to say this, but it's because the power of Satan is behind him. He is a genius. He is the antithesis of deception, the best manipulator that has ever lived on this earth. It's true. People think he's stupid, but in those terms, he's a genius. He is able to make you, within time, maybe not in the first week, the second week, after a few months, he wears you down, just like he wears down the saints. Within 3 months, he'll get you to believe that it really didn't happen. He gaslights you. He lies. He fits in so many. He just keeps talking about it until he wears people out, until he turns the truth around. This is his nature. He's been doing that from the very first day. You can comb through his videos and look at them all. I mean, we're talking about decades worth of stuff. He is able to make you believe anything. Eggs went down. Gas went down. When people are screaming out in pain, help us, bring this down. Rents and all that type of stuff. You're fooled by him. You've bought into a lie. And after he was shot in the ear, which was the qualification, so I guess I should now give you what I'm talking about. The beast that was wounded and yet lived, right? You know, people ascribe this to parts of history and Rome and all different types of theories. But when you finally see it happen in front of you, but not only that, you see other stuff in quick succession, you have to believe that that is it. And this was all throughout the Christian world. But because it's so common, it couldn't be. And isn't that the problem? That one of the mysteries of this, knowing who the Antichrist is that he's right in front of you. What did I write down? That you believe, here's the worst part of this delusion. Listen to me. That you believe, and I see it in my comment section, that you believe that the Antichrist is going to be so mysterious. There it is. You're waiting for something of this wicked trick. But if you are a faithful servant of God and love God to the core of your being, you give up your life and die for him on a cross if necessary, you see through it, or you will. That is my full belief. He has been revealed, and that's why you see all this covenant coming, these 10 leaders, whoever, we'll see what comes of this. So that makes the case even stronger about Apophis being wormwood. Believe what you want about that. I'm not prophesying. I'm saying something that's already there that I see coming. And you believe NASA? Something the size of the CN Tower, length and width, you believe it's going to miss us by just 19,000 miles and it's been traveling for infinity? Nothing has ever, that's an existential crisis that we've never ever faced. So, just remember this, that Tunguska, what hit Tunguska in Siberia in 1908, that was only 65 meters, to say 120 feet. This is 10 times that, and just that 65 meter one took out 800 square kilometers of forest, flattened every single tree. What do you think this will do? And it says in Revelation it's going to hit the sea. I got to move around here. I got to turn my TENS machine back on again too. Very valuable system. I lifted something a little too heavy that made my back re-tear. It just re-tears. It doesn't feel good, but it'll go away. Please just give me a second here, guys, because I'm eating and drinking. He's a man spoken of in Daniel 8 and 11. From the west, he'll come from the west. I'm not going over that scripture. You can watch all the videos of the Lawless One. He puts a lot of video up that, it's just good to see, good to know, so I can tell you. So the mystery of that, you're like, no, it's going to be some type of mystery that's going to come in front of me, and it's going to fool everyone else, but I'm going to know. I'm not being a hypocrite because I see who the Antichrist is. In such a defined way, I don't even know how to explain to you. I love God with all my heart, and for me to come on here, I think it's necessary to tell you these things. He's an evil man. He's vile. He makes fun of the disabled. Did you see that video when he's going like this, right? Like that? That's his character. Holding up an upside down Bible. Listen to what I play from the Lawless One. I have, I think, one thing to play from there. He made over $1 million from that Bible. You know, they make the diamond sign. You know, it's just a satanic symbol, okay? The MAGA movement right from the beginning. MAGA is, look in the hierarchy of churchofsatan.com. It's the highest position of a priest. He's the high priest of the Church of Satan. MAGA. He was saying that from the very beginning when he announced that he was going to run for president. I'm going to make America great again. I heard it. Make the country great again. And went to make America great again. So to finish this part off, and if the video skips, because it skipped at the beginning when I did one, okay? So follow to the next. You're going to want to hear this. You think it's going to be such a mystery that it's going to be so tricky. But if you love the truth, and the man of sin will be revealed, it will be, but the delusion will be so powerful to those who do not love the truth. Not everyone's going to see this at once, but you will. He says one thing and does another. He is the manipulator of all manipulators. He's right in front of you. There's no mystery. The falling away has occurred. It's all around him. Like Paula White and those kinds of people. The internet has taken off. And since YouTube opened up, the false prophets came in droves. You see them manifest through that prophet Joshua guy. You see, think of how many people he would have let down. Some by emotion, some by probably just sent by the devil. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure. But yeah. I don't know the answer to that, but there's a reason why Jesus said, don't be deceived. What is this? Is he speaking against the Most High, these blasphemous? You wonder about that, eh? Holding up the Bible and doing that upside down is the things he does, like he'll say things talking about, but he really knows nothing about the God that he's talking about. When they say God, it's a different God. It's Novo Seclorum or whatever it is. The New World Order, which I believe began in 2001, 9/11. There's a lot to say about that. You don't believe me? You don't believe me about that 9/11? What is this about 9/11 anyways? And its affiliation with Donald Trump. You don't think there's an affiliation? So 2001 that happened, you know it did. You know it was set up. There was thermite found, 8 tons of it. I saw that. I was 22 years old, 23 years old. I saw building 7, right? I saw it fall. It should not have. There was thermite found in every one of those buildings. That is when the New World Order began, and they've been talking about it forever. It's on your dollar bill. That's what it says, New World Order. That's what the pyramid and the eye is, coming from your country, the United States of America. It's where the Antichrist has come from. Go look at their MAGA hat that they wear. Trump, 45, 47. Add them up. 4 plus 5 is 9. 4 plus 7 is 11. 9/11. MAGA, high priest, 9/11. Holy, this gets scary, doesn't it? Now go to Revelation 9/11, and they had a king over them at the bottomless pit, and his name was Abaddon, Dawn, or Apollyon. Go look at his apartment in his building. Big painting of Apollo. He worships Apollo. He has a statue of him. This is who we've been waiting for since the beginning, to defeat Satan. It goes so much further than that, I don't even know how to tell you. Look at Donald Trump's building. They've got a big hexagram, as above, so below symbol, you know what I mean? The pyramids, like upside down pyramid, hexagram. It's satanic. It's been there since like 1980. His building is 666 feet tall. Lives on the 66th floor. And that hexagram that's like that begins on the 6th floor to the 12th. That's six up from the ground. Then it goes 6 up, 6 across, and 6 out. You don't get it yet. I don't know like what I'm supposed to show you. This guy is evil as hell. So let's go with the new stuff here. I can't believe. Let's talk about this first. January 6th. I had to relook. They sure spun it for. They had a long time. They had 4 years to spin it any which way they wanted. And that's all Trump talked about, isn't it? That Capitol, I'm not on their side. I'm not on Biden's side or any. I'm for Jesus Christ. So you can't say anything about that. I never paid much attention to it, but I have been. And I'm not going to put much more into it than I already have. That should have never been stormed. And I don't believe it was ever taken away from him. The man who can make you think anything has fooled you. So I went back and I listened to, he was inciting a riot. He absolutely was. I don't know how you could think otherwise. But he does it in his own special words. Let's listen. I don't have the full thing, so... Oh, did I, This is Washington Post, but still.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell.
So consider that he's lost, and he's a sore baby loser. You know what his temperament is. You know what his niece, who is a psychologist, says about him. And I'm not going to say that. I don't want to diagnose people on here any more than I just shouldn't, but I think you have the idea. He wins by any means.
And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
There it is. See that? If you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. That's a bad thing to say. They're so close to the Capitol. Man, I would believe those words incited a riot right there.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them. But I said, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Can't have happened. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
What do you expect is going to happen after that?
Our exciting adventures and boldest endeavors have not yet begun.
What happened here today was an insurrection incited by the President of the United States. Those who choose to continue to support his dangerous gambit by objecting to the results of a legitimate democratic election will forever be seen as being...
There's another video. I can't find it. I could find it, but it would take me too long. He's on the phone with, and I saw this in Congress. This isn't the secret I'm going to tell you. He's talking to someone who's responsible for these 11,000 votes. Have you heard it before? And he's on the phone and he's pressuring. He's like a representative or one of the chair people. I forget his name. You probably know who I'm talking about. And he's pressuring him. I just need these votes. I just need these votes. And he's going on, trying to put pressure on him so much. And this is what he does. He thinks that he can pressure to win an election. You just give me those. It's just 11,000 votes. If you still can't see this, I cannot help you. I can't help you. Like, man. Damn, I had another one too. That may have been it. Yeah, it is. But listen. I couldn't believe this. Whether this. Let's look. How do I start this? Two things. I never knew, even though I've read over Enoch a couple times, and I'm starting to read Enoch again. I had to research and say, why wasn't Enoch put in it's in the Ethiopian canon, right? Why not us? Because they didn't think it was inspiredly divided, and I can see the reasons why they would think that. But it fits so much. It fills in the blanks. The angels. Sam Janza, or whatever his name is. I was just reading that today. I read like chapter 1 to 10. And I had to look, was this in the Dead Sea Scrolls? And it was. And this isn't the content of this video I'm talking about. And so my next natural question was, is this what Jude was reading and speaking of in Jude, right? When they left their humble abode. And I looked, and it is. Inspired, they believe it's 3rd century, BC or, BCE, right before Common Era. And so I think it's worth reading because of that. That kind of changed my mind there. The other thing, you're really going to want to pay attention here. I'd never heard this before. I'll say this before I say this thing I learned. Sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble with my throat. You know the problem you see me having here with they're esophageal spasms. Never in my life, except for yesterday and about a year ago, had I ever come across a person who had the same problem as me, going out selling door to door my pure beeswax candles. But I did yesterday, and it's very strange. This person said to me they have achalasia of their esophagus, and that's why you see me swallowing and doing that type of stuff. And I get a lot of spasms in my throat. It's brutal. I don't even know how to tell you. I don't know the full cause or anything like that. I was tested. My test came out just, that the range came out to achalasia, but it's not achalasia. Same symptoms. Anyways, I met this person. It was very strange. The person answers the door, and I thought like it was me. I'm not even kidding you. It was really strange. I could hear them like taking pauses and stuff. So give me a second, and I'm going to talk about this. It's not nice, like it gives you anxiety. There's a lot of anxiety. And when I eat, it gets worse. But because of an abdominal issue that I have to keep putting food on my stomach. Especially when I speak, because it affects my stomach. So, just give me a second here. This is worth hearing. So I got to give it a rest. So I did the research yesterday. And it's true. So from this Lawless One channel, I got some information. And it was about Proverbs 6:16. In Revelation 13, it says, you know, here, what does it say? What are the first words? Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast. Remember this. Here is wisdom. Keep that in your mind. Here is wisdom. Let him that has understanding count the number of the beast. For is the number of a man, and his number is 666. This is what we've always been taught. But is it really the number? And when you look at Neuralink, it equals 666. There's many things that evil people can do to make it fit the Bible. But let's... Here is wisdom. I looked after watching this guy's video, and the first papyrus that was found, I guess, for Revelation 13, it doesn't say 666, it's 616. And I'm like, I'm researching, I'm asking AI, of course, because it's a good study tool. Is it true that this was the earliest papyrus? It's papyrus, found in 115, in the year 115. It said, so let's take a look. I'll do it right on here. For you people who don't believe this, listen, that's why I say be a brain. So I should say brothers and sisters. I apologize. Does the earliest Yes, Papyrus 115, P115, which is the earliest known manuscript fragment containing the relevant part of Revelation 13, writes the number of the beast as 616, not 666. This fragment, which dates to the late 2nd or 3rd, early 3rd century, it says 115. It's Papyrus 115. Sorry, guys, I thought it was 115. Has led many scholars to suggest that 616 may have been the original number. The variation is often explained by the practice of gematria. So, you hear that, right? I don't know how to tell you any further. That is the earliest known one. It says 616. Keep following me. Go back to Revelation 13. 13:18. I'll give you a little bit of time to go. I'll give you 20 seconds to go to Revelation 13:18. Let's go to the King James Version. So just replace it with 616, and then I'm going to take you somewhere else. It says, here is wisdom. That's all I want to say. You know the rest of it. So here is wisdom. God gives us many clues, and I believe in this case, he's asking us, here is wisdom. We always wonder, what does that mean? Here is wisdom. Is there something else to this? Let's go to Proverbs, where we find wisdom. Do we not find wisdom in Proverbs? Excuse me. That actually feels good. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Let's start at Proverbs 6:9. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When will thy arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little slumber, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. A naughty person, the wicked man, walketh with a froward mouth. He wrinkles his eyes, he speaks with his feet, and he teaches with his fingers. Froward is in the heart, he devises mischief continually. He sows discord. Therefore his calamity shall come suddenly. Suddenly shall be broken without remedy. Listen closely. Proverbs 6:16. 6:16, the earliest one found. I'm taking a journey with you. You go do your own research. The first one that was found said 6:16. Proverbs 6:16. These 6 things, think of Donald Trump now. These 6 things is important. Keep Trump in your mind and everything I've showed you, and you know about this man of sin. Here is wisdom. His number is 616. These 6 things does the Lord hate. Yes, 7 are abomination to him. A proud look, check mark. A lying tongue, hands that shed innocent blood, that could be argued. A heart that devises wicked imaginations, feet that be run swift to running into mischief, a false witness that speaks lies and sows discord among the brethren. My son, keep thy father's commandment and forsake not the law of thy mother. I believe that is a revelation, and I'm glad I saw this. I wouldn't have seen it if I didn't see his channel. And this is why I comb through the channels. I want to show you who the man of sin is. So there it is. Don't you think that's pretty, I think that's pretty significant. And even if it were not the case, even though that was the earliest one that was found, and was that in the, yeah, that was in the Dead, let's take a look. Was that in the Dead Sea Scrolls? Oh, well, that would be part of it, right? Yes, papyrus 115, P115. Here's what matters surrounding 666 and 616, okay? And I think it's important to remember this, that God is probably showing all of it to us, to show us even further who the man of sin is. I don't think I have any more than that. You know, I like speaking on here every day. I don't want to speak about the man of sin every day. You know, I tend to take a day off and then, you know, I comb through these things when I have the time, and then I let it build. If I let this build for a week, right? But this man prospers by deceit, and I could go a lot further into who he is, but I'm not going to. You can watch my videos, you can look back on the things I've said. And coming full circle for a conclusion, this is the grand delusion. The whole world wanders after him. You know what, I will finish with this, what I saw, because I wasn't able to finish this. You know, because this gives you a lot of anxiety and stuff. Man, I hope for the day, that day, when I get my throat back fully. So, when I finally realized that it wasn't about Rome, it wasn't about these things, you know, these 3 kings that will be subdued might well be just in the States. But I'm watching Trudeau, I'm watching the Mexican, and I'm watching Maduro. I don't know, we'll see. At the same time as they're saying there's going to be 10 leaders, it's all coming together. Quite exciting. Probably not good news for us, though. That here's the order that I saw happen very quickly. Mortal head wound, but curiously cured, right? You know, as it were, whatever way you want to say it, it doesn't matter. So he gets it. He gets it in the ear. I don't know if that was even real. But John saw it, and there's a reason why he wrote it. Immediately following that, the whole world followed after him. even more than they already were. They were enamored with him. This man survives anything. He gets through all these lawsuits and all this stuff. It's because he prospers by deceit. He pressures lawyers. He has all the money. He's powered by the Antichrist. So it went from him being shot, the head wound, and it went to the whole world followed after him. Then the second beast of the earth that has 2 horns but speaks like a dragon, like a lamb and speaks like a dragon. It's Elon Musk. Look at Tesla's symbol. Look at his Halloween costume. The Baphomet is what they worship. It's in their symbology. And that second beast made the world worship the first beast. You can see I am dark MAGA. Oh, with his arms up like that. And he's making you worship the first beast. And then suddenly they get in a big fight, right? And I said they're going to come back together. And you see it happening. And he does all these miracles in the sight of the beast, that he even makes fire come down from heaven in the sight of men and in sight of the beast. There's that video showing it. Just think of the possibilities of those 2 men coming together at that time. That's what I have to say. And if what I say you don't believe, most of it anyways, you're caught in the delusion. You're caught in that delusion.